Specifically, what we're talking about here and why we're here today, it's for the topping off of the ancillary areas, which will contain the state-of-the-art diagnostic and treatment facilities. And we're very, very excited. And we're very excited that all of you came today. Please give yourselves a round of applause for being here. All of you are dignitaries, all of you are special guests, but we do have some very special guests that I would like to ask all of you to help me acknowledge before we kick off our program. And I want to start off with one of the hardest working men that I know of and one of the hardest jobs and most challenging jobs that I know of on this island. Please welcome the Honorable Magatlahin of Guam, the Honorable Eduardo Baza Calvo, and his lovely wife, First Lady Christine. Here with us today as well is his right-hand man, the Honorable Raymond Tenorio, Lieutenant Governor of Guam. Representing the, here it is, the Consul General of Palau, please welcome Jeff Kenty. The Consul General of the Federated States of Micronesia, the Honorable Robert A. Richo. The Consul General of the Philippines, the Honorable Bayani Magiban. Accompanying him is Consul Edgar Thomas Axilian. The Taipei Council Representative, Mr. Bruce Hong. From the 31st Guam Legislature, we have the Chairman of the Committee on Health, the Honorable Dennis Rodriguez. Along with him, the Chairperson of the Committee on Tourism, Ms. Tina Munya Barnes. We also have in our midst.
When the concrete is poured here this morning, it will be called topping off. That concrete will become the physical foundation for state-of-the-art diagnostic and treatment facilities that our island needs and our people deserve. But what will not be topped off today is the promise that all who live here have access to the best quality of healthcare. This promise is also a foundation, a spiritual foundation. It should be our guiding principle when formulating and carrying out our healthcare decisions, whether as policymakers, executives, advisors, or medical practitioners. Whenever it is possible for a patient to be treated by skilled medical professionals, utilizing state-of-the-art facilities available in Guam, where they can remain surrounded by loving family and friends for the duration of their illness, we are obligated to seeing that happen. This is a promise that must be kept regardless of a patient's citizenship, income, or medical condition. After all, it's not the level of care and compassion given to the most ill, the most feeble, and the most vulnerable among us the truest reflection of the values that define us as a people. This is why hospitals are not only crucial to the health and well-being of individual patients, but the health and well-being of a community. In 2014, when GRMC opens its doors, we will, for the first time in our history, have 3 hospitals serving our island. Governor, President Bengzon Margaret, Mr. Hawes, and members of the GRMC Community Advisory Board. I know that working as partners on behalf of all the people of Guam, we will not only achieve better delivery of services to patients and their families, but also a better Guam. Once again, thank you very much. Si Diyos Maasi, maraming salamat po, and God bless Guam, and God bless TMC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Rodriguez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special person here today from the Philippines here to give us some very special remarks. Please help me welcome up Dr. Alfredo R.A. Bengzon.
Half a day. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Let me begin by greeting everyone and mentioning especially people in this list. When I come to this portion of the address, I get terrified because I'm afraid I might miss somebody. So I'm just going to follow what's in here. Let me first greet my singing partner as of last night, the Honorable Edward Basa Calvo, Governor of Guam. He would have been the official singing partner, but the spirit behind that partnership is his lovely wife, Mrs. Calvo, Mrs. Christine Calvo. The Honorable Raymond Tenorio, Lieutenant Governor of Guam. The different officials of the Federated States of Micronesia. Excuse me if I don't mention every one of you here, because we are going to last up to evening tonight if I do. Okay. The Consul General of the Philippines, Honorable Bayani Mangibin. The Honorable Dennis Rodriguez, member of the 31st Guam Legislature and chairperson of the Committee on Health and Human Services. It also says something here that I'm not sure this is correct. It says senior citizen. You are not senior citizen. Please stand up. It does not look like senior citizen. My friends, Mayor Savares. My friends, the good people of Guam. I think this is my 5th time to be here in this lovely island. In the medical city tradition, on the occasion of any celebratory event, we take the opportunity, even as we look backward, standing in the present, looking forward to moving into the future. We take the occasion to ask ourselves, what is the event that we are celebrating say to us about ourselves, about the understanding of our mission in the journey of life? That is the perspective that I will use in sharing my thoughts with you this morning. We officially made the decision to embark on this project, which is to say, to be a part of this community in 2010. And a year later, November 11, 2011, we broke ground here. And now, December 12, 2012, we are moving forward in our journey to the promised land of this project. What does this occasion call for as we go to this morning's celebration? My disposition is to deliver my message using some images as a framework And it is not lost upon me that we are in the Christmas season. And we are specifically in the season of Advent, which is a time of waiting, a time of enthusiastic, active, engaged period of waiting. Waiting for something important, something of great significance, something that defines our life on this earth. I believe that it is appropriate to first strike a note of gratitude. A note of gratitude to the many people and groups who have begun this project, best captured by what we see physically, and move the project forward to its completion. We have our partners. There are so many pieces of paper here. I'm getting confused. But we have our partners, and from here, it will take too long to mention the individual names, so I will just mention the groups. DCK, where are the DCK people? Setyadi Architects, industry partners and vendors, Varian Medical Systems, Siemens, Zenith Medical Equipment, and Stryker Medical Products. What I would like, on behalf of the Medical City and on my personal behalf, to say thank you to the groups and to the individuals from our part of the world. 2 women and a man, Margaret Bengzon and Virgie Alano, and Eki Gonzalez. And Dan Lichauco, who many years ago, using the creativity of his mind, designed the Medical City on Ortigas Avenue, that which has served as a reference of a health facility, not only for the Philippines, but for the world. Dan, to all of you, on behalf of our organization and on my personal behalf, there are not sufficient words in the dictionary that I can draw from to say thank you. What is the message, or what are the messages I wish to share with you today? Using the framework of my understanding of the season of Advent. We are told that Advent is a time for waiting, for eager waiting, for active waiting, an opportunity in the process of waiting to look inward, not just to look back, but to look inward and ask ourselves the question, what does the event of waiting, what does the period of waiting, looking forward to its final conclusion, say to us about ourselves, individually, institutionally, as professionals, as citizens of land, and as human beings? I believe that the season of Advent reminds us that the most profound opportunity given us as pilgrims on this earth is to be of loving service to one another as human persons. And there cannot be a clearer a stronger platform than the platform of health to communicate that message. For after all, health, surely a fundamental human right, defines the quality of life and the quality of human development. So beyond the brick and mortar, steel and glass, crane and equipment, a project like this bids us to look inward and reminds us, and should serve as a constant reminder of who we are, what we are all about, and how we understand, pilgrims that you are, as to how we can help one another move forward to go back to where we came from in loving service to one another. Let's come down to some brass tacks. I know that the people involved in building this project have faced, have tackled, and have solved many challenges, and will continue to face, and will continue to be challenged, and will continue to solve many challenges that a project like this is heir to. I'm sure that in those moments, emotions sometimes can run high, and one can get impatient with other people. But let me tell you the medical city way of proceeding. If we appear to our partners that we are demanding, it is because in our scale of values, we believe that nothing but the best of oneself is what is needed when you create a project like this in the service of other people. So when emotions run high and we seem to be pushing people, let us go back to how we understand the spirit that drives this project, which is the spirit of loving service in the area of health to serve the people of Guam. And if we keep that in mind, all of the skirmishes, all of the demands, all of the pushing and pulling, which have happened and will continue to happen, will allow us to see us through. Because nothing but the best of ourselves is what we owe this project, and through this project, to the loving people of Guam. I think that deserves a good hand. Let there be no doubt about the strong, robust, and profound commitment of the medical city, a Philippine health institution that began in 1967 and that ran into deep financial crisis barely 2 years after it began. But since that time, recognizing that in life, adversity can become the greatest of instructors, that challenges and difficulties, and sometimes even failures, can be the best of gifts. We have been able to turn the corner. And if you are going to check with the Securities and Exchange Commission of the Philippines, you will not find an institution of our kind more rewarding to the people that we serve and to those who have shared our dream by investing in our ventures. Symbolically, therefore, the presence, the robust presence of the medical city community here, led by our distinguished chairperson, Dr. Sarmiento, and I bid all of them to stand up, please. let there be no doubt that we are here, except for the title, as stakeholders and citizens of this country, of this community, through this project. And so we want to assure you and everybody else, having consumed about 2 years since we officially made the decision to embark on this project, and waiting perhaps for another 18 months, I understand that we should be operational by the middle of 2014. And I wish to remind all the people involved in the construction that when we make a promise, we have to deliver on it. Okay? And it's not an accident that on our side, the crew, the people who lead our crew are ladies. I think the ladies remind us about the importance of delivering on our promise, right? And so, 2014 is the date when we will come together once more. There will be events when we will talk over there before that time. But when we will come here together to finally embrace and give thanks for the gift and the opportunity to be of service, a gift to the medical city and to the people of the Philippines from the people of Guam. I believe that the image I use of my learnings about the season of Advent is an appropriate reference. It is a period of waiting, but of active waiting. It is a period of moving forward, but drawing from the past, standing off the present, looking inward to get a better, clearer, and more profound understanding of who we are and what the opportunity for a project like this does to deepen and strengthen our understanding of ourselves as professionals, as individuals, as an institution of the Philippines and of Guam. When I passed through the immigration counter in the early morning of Tuesday, the officer there looked at my passport and the visa and asked me what my business was. I said, I am in the business of serving people. He didn't understand that. It did not sound like it was the correct language. And he said, what does that mean? I said, Guam Regional Medical City. He understood that. And then he said, when is that going to be finished? And I said, middle of 2014. And he said, we want it finished earlier. And I said, my friend, the medical city way is to do things right. No less than the best is what the people of Guam deserve. I will reserve for another time when I can decide on what is the appropriate song to sing, but not today. But let me just allude to a favorite song, a song that became our signature song in our toppling the dictatorship and restoring democracy. It was called The Impossible Dream. And my thoughts that I would leave to you is that dreaming a dream is not the difficult thing. Translating the dream into reality is the full measure of the validity of the dream and the resolve of people behind that dream. We are the people, all of us here, are the architects of the dream. And I am sure that come 2014, we can begin with the impossible dream and conclude with the long and winding road. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Once again, Dr. Benzon, please give him a big round of applause. I'd like to also acknowledge a few other guests who are here today, including Senator-elect Brant McCready and representing Congresswoman Madeline Z. Berdalio, Mr. Kin Paris. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for some key remarks, it gives me great pleasure to once again introduce the Magatlahin Guahan, the Honorable Eddie B. Calvo, Governor of Guam.
Buenas and hafide todos hamzu. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Mabuhay! And good morning and Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad to everyone here in attendance. First of all, I'd like to welcome all our dignitaries here, both in our public sector and our private sector, and all the residents of Guam, all partners in this endeavor, but a most special welcome, again, to the leadership of Medical City, Chairman Sarmiento, again, and Mr. President, Dr. Benzon, Margaret, and all of the leadership. Dr. Benzon, I made you that pledge yesterday, and I'm now making that pledge in front of everyone here. He mentioned the songs that we sang together. Well, if anyone has been to Medical City in the Philippines, there is a piano. And Dr. Benzon made mention that one of the ways to bring the Medical City staff, employees, and also the patients together, feeling a family, is the gift of song. And so I would like to continue that tradition, and I make that commitment to you, as I did yesterday, that come 2014 for that ribbon cutting, there will be a piano, and I will be singing. And we will go from the long and winding road to what a wonderful world. It's a deal. I may gain or lose some votes in that song. I don't know. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be here today, and I do have the Christmas spirit, and I got a boost of it. You know, there's been the Christmas parties that's been going on, but again, yesterday when we had the official dinner for this topping off ceremony, it was the first opportunity they had actually to sing, and there really is something about singing that brings out even more of the spirit. And what a time to be happy and to be joyful and to have hope and to sing. One of the joys of being a governor and also getting a sense of the dynamism of our community is having the opportunity